Coming to you from sunny California and the Great White North. Get ready. We are breaking down the obstacles on the Armchair Ninja Podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Armchair Ninja Podcast. It is Wednesday, September 8th, 2021. My name is Rich, and joining me once again is Bijan. How you making out?
I'm good, my man. Hello, everyone. We are back. We're ready to go. I am psyched because, bro, it has been such like a hard thing to just have American Ninja Warrior sit like in my queue, but not watch it for the past 2 weeks. And now we are doing a double header with both semifinals. This is the best way to do it. Man, I got some popcorn. I just marathoned this. It was wonderful.
Yeah, it has been tough. Let it sit, and I apologize, everyone, for making you wait. But we are here, and as Bijan said, we're going to cover both of the semifinals that we haven't so far, so that's episode 3 and 4. We'll crunch them in. We're not going to do every run, but we're going to do a lot of them, and we're going to do our best to give you the coverage you've been waiting for, and then we're going to move on to the finals shortly.
Yeah, because I can't wait for the finals, man. I don't know about you, but I am psyched for the finals, so we got to get on this, man, bro. We got to come back soon.
All right, so let's jump right into it. Do we want to talk courses? Let's talk the new obstacle.
Just the new stuff, right?
Yeah, let's talk about the new obstacle here. In semifinals 3, we had the drop zone. I hate this obstacle so much. I can't even begin to describe.
I had thoughts. I was like, if you are coming in ready to defend it,
They set us up like to hate it, I think. I don't know if that was intentional or what. Like sticking Sean Bryan in right off the bat, I was like, oh no, Sean Bryan's going to fall early. But he didn't. He completed the course. God bless him. He did, in spite of that obstacle bashing him right above the eye and giving him a huge gash. That obstacle, and I'm sorry, we know we have some friends that are obstacle designers, and I'm sorry if this is a Kevin Brecky or, if this was a Kevin Carbone special. I don't know who made this obstacle. And I'm guessing you wouldn't get it on paper, but once it was constructed, it really shouldn't have taken too many runs to see, oh, this is dangerous.
Yeah, this is why they have course testers, to make sure that everything is going smoothly. This was such a bad idea. And I don't know, the thought of the obstacle is actually brilliant. I really like the thought of the idea of, just these whiplash types obstacles where, it's really jerky and, just it jolts you in many ways. But the safety risk factors are just not worth it. I mean, the one thing that I kept thinking about is this happened to Sean Bryan, but bro, we have 15-year-olds running this course now. Imagine if like a 15-year-old girl, just to make heightened, and I apologize, sexism, whatever, but I do not want to see a 15-year-old girl bleeding faucet with her face all cut up because this obstacle is incredibly dangerous. And the one point that I had of why I knew I did not like this obstacle was the fact that every time a different ninja would come up to this obstacle and be on it, I wasn't excited. I wasn't like, oh, are they going to get through it? I was literally cringing and just hoping that they were going to be okay. And that's not how, you want to watch American Ninja Warrior. I don't want to make it sound like it's a travesty or anything like that, but there should have been in the rule set maybe that, you have to go on the outside. But I know we both complained that we don't want necessarily that rigidness. We want, people to be flexible with the way they tackle these things. But maybe there should have been some padding or something on the interior side. There should have just been a little bit more forethought with it, because it wasn't just that one, like lever one where it just jolts you, but honestly, all of them jolt down to where you can really hurt yourself hitting your head. And there were a few ninjas where they basically were hurting themselves on like every single one of them. And I think Sean Bryan was one of the guys that like got injured on every single one. I mean, just all around good premise, but this is what testing is for, and I can't believe none of the testers caught this. It has to have been something that they were aware of.
Yeah, I mean, I might have given it a pass for one episode where you're like, okay, they didn't realize how dangerous this was going to be. It didn't come up in testing. I guess maybe that is even stretching it, because it seems obvious that it's dangerous. But to put it in 2 episodes, like, come on, guys. After the first episode, pull that obstacle, change it up. I don't know what you do. Put it on springs. Just get it out of there. Put something else in place. There's really, it's not worth that risk. Like you said, 15-year-olds in the course, that's all it would have taken would be one of them to come down and smash it right into their face. Like, forget, like, just getting an injury like we saw, which were bad enough. Like, it could have been worse. It really could have been.
Yeah. And I mean, we've spoken before about like ANW. It's inherently got some danger to it, you know. Like when you're on the show, you sign like 4 different forms of basically, hey, if I hurt myself or die, it is not NBC's fault, you know. But there still needs to be some semblance of safety with this, with all types of shows. And I don't know, like, man, when you've got youth on the course, you're dealing with a whole different form of type of lawsuit. You know, they they really should have thought that one through. But I mean, it is what it is. I don't want to make it a big deal, like bigger than it. I don't know. It kind of is a big deal, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm curious to hear what everybody else's thoughts are. Maybe this could be one where, you know, we can hear from the audience, you know, hitting us up on Twitter and Instagram, because I don't know. Maybe I'm making much of a deal out of it, but I really thought it was like really dangerous.
I think that this is so we had, I mean, it's been a couple weeks. We had some people reaching out saying, I can't wait to hear your thoughts on episode 3. That must have been what it was, that people were waiting to hear what we thought about. Because I wasn't sure if it was going to be like, they didn't spoil anything. It was just like, so I wasn't sure if it was going to be like a really good run or what. It's got to be that obstacle.
Yeah, it's got to be, man. I don't know. My back is hurting. Like, I pulled my back today, so I just don't have it in me to be like, all vitriol, shame bell, all that. But I mean, yeah, you know, they should have known better.
All right. So yeah, as we mentioned, Sean Bryan was the first one to take the course, which really didn't bode well for him. And then he smacked himself, and it just seemed like, well, there's no way he's getting through, right? And that's probably why. And then he ended up beating the whole course, all bloodied up, and congrats, like absolutely crazy run to have it kick off the night.
Sean Bryan, you get the athletically profound run of the night at the opening moment. I mean, this was so good. The one thing that I always bring up is the drama of the course. Anybody can run the course proficiently well. It is what it is. But holy crap, man. He overcame so many odds that were against him. He wasn't just bleeding, but he was like, he had 3 hits to the head. I mean, he might be concussed. Who knows? But like, he really was hurting himself. And you could tell halfway through the course, he was all rung up. It wasn't just like that one obstacle that I ever forget the name, the drop obstacle, but like the spinning one where, you know, the circular, like the circle wheel things,
the padlock.
Like he was rung up trying to figure that out too. Like he was really rung up. And you know, Sean, we've seen him before. He's actually really smart when it comes to this course. So it's not, I seriously doubt it was him trying to be like, oh, what do I do? I think it was really him really out of his element, rung up. And the fact that it was pure grit and determination makes it so much more compelling. And not to mention, it's Sean Bryan. He is like one of the nicest people. I mean, he was always with me right before I was going to run in the LA, and he was just like the nicest, most humble guy, calming all of the newbies down and everything. He's just a great human being. So I really felt for him, and in a way, I was just so happy that he was still able to persevere through that. I mean, this is something where, you know, he can really look back and be like, I did that.
Yeah, it was an epic run, one to be remembered for sure. He oh shoot, I forget what I was gonna say, and we don't edit now, so we're gonna move on.
No editing. Don't play yourself, bro.
All right, so moving on. I guess again we're not doing every one. The next one I wanted to mention was David Campbell getting fast forward, who also took a blow to the top of the head, also got all bloodied up, but he ended up going out on the drop zone. His foot hit the water on the dismount, unfortunately.
Yeah, that sucks. I mean, we've spoken about it before. It happens, but it's just the worst way to go out. Like, I would much rather go out, you know, falling off an obstacle than just literally tapping the water with my foot. I would, that's just the worst.
Yeah, I can't feel good. Josiah Pipel, 15, Najee's protege, I guess, is what Najee's the one that's training him. He's wearing his shirt.
Yeah.
absolutely love this kid, and I loved, like, they got to play up that walk of his, man. He's got a strut, like a Terminator walk as he's
Oh, does he?
going through the course.
I would have to watch it back, bro. But that's good. And this was a young kid too, right? I love it when these kids have swag. Like they are like, yo, I am here and I am ready to take on the world. That's awesome.
It wasn't even swag. It's so hard to describe. Akbar started making fun of it a little bit because he came down after the warp wall and he just looked determined and he walked so purposefully. He was like upright, very robotic, like Terminator, like, and it was so great. But he looked really good the whole way through. Like, he did a absolutely fantastic job.
This was the kid with the like semi-afro, right?
Yeah.
I like this kid. He has a really good look, and his connection with Najee is even better. And he completed the whole course too, which was a shocker because I don't know if he got that much screen time like ahead of this. But like the one good thing about this episode, actually these 2 episodes, is that they really were playing up the whole thing where every single time we come back from commercial, we get like a full segment with somebody. Sometimes, most of the time new also, which I like. And then we see them run the course, and a lot of them were compelling. So, I mean, I really liked the editing in these 2 episodes. Yeah, we had some bummer ones, but all around, I mean, I think it was pretty strong.
Yeah, I think overall it was good. It is a lot of different people, like you said. Josiah, yeah, I should have mentioned that he did, not only did he make it through, he had the second fastest time of the night. So he actually ran on the power tower.
Oh, did he? Shame on me. I forgot.
I did too. I had to quickly look. I'm like, wait, why didn't I put down how he did? Oh, right. That's the kid that went to the power tower. That's why I didn't write it down. I thought, duh, of course he did.
Yeah. No offense to him, but his opponent kind of overshadowed him.
Yeah, a little bit.
We'll get to that.
But he was great. He was absolutely great. Should mention Kevin Carbone and Brian Kretsch, both fast-forwarded. Both went out on padlock.
I mean, Carbone in particular, I mean, it's just, I don't know who he annoyed, man, but Carbone is so much better than he gets any like credit for. He's like the new Nicholas Courage. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, he's so consistent. That's why it's extra shocking that he went out there. Like, he is very, very good at the course. Always takes, like, just amazing when you look back through his record for the last few seasons, like, just low-key one of the best ninjas out there and doesn't get the screen time a lot of times.
Yeah. I'm more surprised that they didn't pair him with Tyler Gillette again, because those two are like locked to the hip.
They do like to do that, especially when they run and do very similarly. For whatever reason, they'll like show one, then fast forward the other, or vice versa. But this time they didn't match up, so I guess that's why they didn't do it. I should mention Megan Rowe, the axe throwing, jewelry making ninja. She was really charming in the course, very charismatic. Cracking jokes and having a lot of fun. But she wasn't able to make that second jump, the jump to the second padlock. She ended up going out there, but like a great run from her. I really like her a lot. I think she has a lot of potential.
Yeah, I think her personality is really great. It's one of those things where at first I was like ready to hate her because I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, why are we seeing somebody that throws axes? But at the same time, hey, that is unique. I mean, it's better than, hey, I like cats. And she has the personality to back it up, too.
Yeah, I think that was the thing. So I kind of felt the same way with the axe throwing segment. I'm like, we saw this. Like, I don't need it again. But it was kind of like just a reminder. And then really she brought out her personality on the course, which is what we really need.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I'm scrolling through the episode right now. I forgot there's a dude named the Bowtie Ninja.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, y'all got to get better with your shticks, man. Like, oh man, we're hitting the bottom of the barrel here. But
yeah, he ran on his 40th birthday. I almost included him in my notes here, but sorry, that just wasn't enough. We got too much to cover.
I mean, Adam Rail. I was happy I got to see Adam Rail with his mom freaking out again. Vicky Rail is just the best. At this point, I'm more excited to see Vicky Rail when I'm like, Adam Rail's ready. Yes, I got to see his mom again.
It is like that too. It's so funny. We should mention before we get to Adam, Tyler Gillette was fast forward as well. Almost back to back with Kevin Carbone.
Are you telling me? Wait, hang on. We need to process this. Tyler Gillette was fast forwarded. Wow. And let me guess, he did very well.
He fell on the diving boards, but he is going to Vegas, yes.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yep.
And honestly, I don't know about you, bro, but like, especially for this one, the diving boards. If I knew I was making it to Vegas, I would go for it. I would do the diving boards.
Yep.
There is no way I'm doing that other one. Just
That flows
no, thank
perfectly
you.
into the next section because Adam Rail had a chance at going, to the power tower, was, pretty clearly going to Vegas. He's sitting at the split decision and kept kind of hemming and hawing, going back and forth, and ended up going the dungeon route. And to his credit, beat the whole thing. But it's like, at that point, man, just go diving boards. Just take it down.
Yeah, like what do you get from hitting the buzzer? I guess you get another buzzer for your record, I guess. But like,
yeah.
I would so much rather have the chance to get that speed pass. And I'd have to look back. Hang on, let me scroll while we're talking here. Because like, what was the time? Like, is there a reason? Okay, he got there at about 5:10, 5 minutes and 10 seconds. And the number that he had to breach was basically 5 minutes and 57 seconds. Oh no, he actually got there at 5 minutes straight. So he had 57 seconds to get to the top of the tower. I would so much rather do the diving boards. He had a chance.
He did.
He
can
had
absolutely power through that spider climb better than spider trap, whatever it's called, spider trap, better than anyone. Like, he's incredibly good at it.
Yeah. I mean, I know this is armchair quarterbacking. Who knows? Maybe he was winded. Maybe he just, maybe he had leg problems or something. But I'm just saying, like, from a viewer perspective, ooh boy, he took the harder route and probably the route that wasn't as smart to do.
He took the route that he figured he had a better chance of completing. And to his credit, he completed it. Like, he did exactly what he set out to do. But it really, I don't know. It's hard to say because there is a risk to it. In the next episode, there are people that got to the 9th obstacle that did not move on, and we can get to it when we get to it. But yeah, this wasn't the episode.
But here's the thing. And in particular, when you look at Adam Rail, of all people, he always, that he has all the potential in the world, that he can complete and win the whole thing. We've seen him in the regional competitions. He's amazing. He always seems to fall in the Vegas finals by some freak accident. Like whether it's a salmon ladder on stage 2 or something else. It's always this freak little thing that he can complete it, but something just happened. He is perfectly made for the safety pass. If there was ever anybody that, needs just one redo, it's him. So I have just, it sucks just because I'm so much of a fan, because I really think more than anybody else, he would really benefit from a safety pass.
I completely agree. We said that from the beginning, right? When they introduced this safety pass, is like, this is the Adam Rail pass. This is the, he can take things down fast. A power tower competition is perfect for him. He's going to win every one. And he'll have this, extra chance in Vegas. This is 100% going to get us Adam Rail, the Ninja Warrior champion. But we haven't quite got there yet.
And you know what would have even been better or great is I really want to see him go against Vance Walker. That would have been so dope. Like, don't you think that would have been an amazing race?
Yeah, it would have been. I just don't know. I really don't. It was whatever. He hit the buzzer. Congrats, Adam.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, I need to stop hating. I mean, at the end of the day, he hit the buzzer. We're gonna see him in Vegas, so it is what it is. At least he's not got some weird 40 glasses on with a bow tie.
And
oh man, I just don't have it in me to. Everyone, I watched this episode like 3 days ago, so it just, I've calmed down already. I don't have it in me to hate.
I really have to, and I don't like to be negative, but I gotta mention Vincent Payne, the PhD student who makes his own clothing. I needed to take a second.
What is this?
This guy is wearing like a onesie that he made.
Oh yeah, I remembered this. This was very unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't understand, and no hate for Vincent, but why did we see his run? Why was he given so much airtime? Like, he was struggling through it. I mean, sometimes that's good. Sometimes you get to see the struggle and it really, sucks you in. I just didn't feel this one at all. He ended up going out on Padlock, but between the outfit and the whole shtick with, I just not feeling this particular run at all.
Yeah, this was screamed, like late second half of the episode before we get like the really important people. Just some random dude. Just yeah. I really don't have much to say. It was I kind of just glazed over with this one.
I think, and I normally, it's been a while since we've really had those kinds of rants. I think we've been really easy on them this year. But in an episode where you're fast forwarding David Campbell, Brian Kretsch, Kevin Carbone, Tyler Gillette, Brett Sims, RJ Roman, like
Brett Sims.
Come on.
Brett Sims was really good this episode too. Or like we should have at least seen some portion of his run, because from what I saw, he really did good.
Yeah, I don't understand. And he was actually the next one I was going to mention, because he got fast forwarded right after this. He completed the course, 10-year veteran. Yeah, I just don't get it. I mean, we don't want to see all completions. I get it. I don't know why they picked this particular one.
Yeah.
After him, though, we had Megan Martin.
This was a surprise.
Was it?
I did not see her falling where she did, bro.
I mean, yeah, I guess. She missed the ring on the ring chase. She was able to complete it anyway. Looked very solid overall, but ended up going out on padlock. I don't know. I guess it's a little
the one
earlier.
Obstacle where it really, like, the problem that I had, or the thing that shocked me, was the fact that the padlock is really grip strength, like based, and I don't know. I just expected her to kind of breeze through it, but I mean, I don't know. She looked really strong, and then it just happened. But I've seen her do transitions so well in the past, and she has that crazy grip strength. So just that really surprised me. That said, she is moving on to Vegas, I'm pretty sure, right?
Oh yeah.
So,
by a long shot.
So I mean, it is what it is. She's good.
I guess I wasn't as surprised in this episode, because there was a lot of, especially the veterans, like padlock had their number, right? Like that's the same obstacle that took out like so many others that it didn't surprise me, I guess, from that perspective. It's a tough obstacle.
Yeah,
it wasn't really her grip.
I mean,
that gives out.
It's very similar to the crayon obstacle. So I mean, it's very. I completely agree. Totally understand.
Virtually identical.
If I were there, I would have ran into it with my knees.
After Megan, they fast forwarded RJ Roman, who went out on the diving boards just gunning for fastest time. Respect.
Don't blame him. I would have done the same thing, buddy. So.
And then we move on to Vance Walker, 16 years old, ANW Junior 2-time winner, has never fallen on the course in his 2 seasons at ANW Junior. Qualifiers up until now has never fallen. And
I'm just gonna say this. I know we are going to do our picks for who we're gonna be like, who's going well. Dibs.
Oh man,
I'm calling it now. Dibs.
I didn't prep. Okay, I'll have to figure mine on the fly here. So right,
it's all good because I didn't prep either, but I know this for Vance Walker. Dibs.
Yeah, I'll grant you that. The dude is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Beat the top time by over a minute. This guy doesn't fall. I cannot wait to see him in Vegas. He's gonna be really exciting to see what he can do.
Yeah, in many ways, they're hyping him up to be like the next, I don't know, like Mr. Ninja Warrior or something. Like, he's very talented, but he lives and breathes Ninja Warrior. There are certain ninjas where it's just like they're destined for this, kind of like Joe Morosky got that aura about him, and Vance Walker very much feels that way. It's like another level. And I feel like the producers also know that. And this is one where I really don't mind the edit that we're getting from him. I feel like it's not too, shoving it down your throat. I think they're just hyping him up to the level that he is, because he is that good. And I really like it.
They've actually been really easy on the editing this season overall, come to think of it, like really spreading it around. Whereas like in past seasons, we would have seen like Vance Walker, the one that they all say could bring home the $1 million. Like they would have just been like every commercial break just driving him home. They haven't done that, so good on them.
I like that. It's so much better to be subtle, you know. When you ram it down your throat too much, I feel like they've seen it where there can be an audience backlash. Especially, I'm sure they saw that with Matisse Awadi.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that way about Matisse, but I know that, Matisse got a lot of hate online. So I wonder if, I guess it's good the fact that they are listening, they are seeing that and adjusting. Because I honestly, these past few years, it seems like they've been improving every single year.
They really have. And I have to say, like, I have one really small complaint about Vance's segment, and that's just as a parent, I think, more than anything. It's just, they keep playing like Vance has a pool in his backyard, and Vance has no, his father, he's like, Vance built this thing. Like, no. So Vance lives there rent free, and they do all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's great. I'm sure it's great, but this isn't Vance's pool. This is his parents' pool.
Yeah, that giant pool with all the stuff that's super nice. I don't think Vance paid for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess
that's a good point. I didn't think about that, but yeah, that was a little. It's like, good for you, buddy. You're well off. I grew up in the hood. So I can't relate, but I'm glad your father's doing well.
Yeah, I think that was where I was coming from too. Is like, I grew up poor. Like, this is not that kid's backyard. Like, this is this is parents' money. I mean, good for them, like that they're doing well enough to do that. But
yeah, no hate to the family or him. I mean, good for you. But it's like, if there is ever a thing where it's like, okay, I can't relate to you, it's that.
Yeah, I've definitely relate more to like
the first time
Nick Hansen with his like homemade, out in the backwoods with the random sticks that he could find. That's more my speed.
Yeah, and I was literally an adult the first time I went into a swimming pool. So yeah.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is some people can't learn to swim, that easily and everything.
So that led to the big ANW showdown between the teenagers, Vance Walker versus Josiah Pipel, with a 7-inch height difference between them.
I mean, yo, what's his name again? Pipel. That dude looked so tall next to Vance.
Yeah, and so old. Like, he does not look. I think he was 15. Vance is 16. Yeah, Josiah's 15. He does not look it at all.
And it's crazy that they both competed on. I like the fact that they have history on ANW Junior.
I know.
Like, if there's one brilliant thing, is they are really hyping ANW Junior, and I really am glad, because it seems like they've known what we know, which is that this show, ANW Junior, is special. It is a hit on their hands, and it's probably really great for. Is it Paramount Plus that's on, or Peacock? It's on Peacock, right? That's the name of their streaming service.
Not here.
I mix it all up. I think it's Peacock though. So, I mean, I think they're building up like the other ANW big show that's gonna be on streaming, and it's brilliant because, hey, the stars of that show are literally here now.
Yeah, I'm just gonna feed them all in. I credit to Josiah. He kept it close, man. It was a very close race right to the end. Vance did end up bringing home the safety pass, but it was not a gimme.
Yeah. Also, I mean, I'm looking through it now, bro. With a busted like nose and face and everything, Sean Bryan got the 3rd fastest time of the night. That is crazy.
Yeah, kind of crazy.
Think about that.
He's crazy talented. Like, we slept on him for a couple years, but we are like big fans now. He really finally won us over. It only took him like 3 or 4 seasons, but we eventually caught on.
Yeah, 3 or 4 seasons of him going back to back at stage 3. And it's like, oh yeah, why are we not picking this dude? Like, why do I keep looking over him? Not making that mistake again.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, moving on. Semifinals 4. We're making good pace. We're at 29 minutes. I think we're doing good.
I like this.
All right. So what's swapped out? They kept Drop Zone. They brought in Crazy Clocks. Other than that, it's basically
Crazy
and Barrel Roll.
Oh yeah, Barrel Roll and Crazy Clocks. Yeah. Okay, they're fine. I see them both honestly as like mid-tier obstacles. Like the barrel roll, I don't really think is all that difficult, but the visual elements there, which is cool. Don't know if I necessarily need it for a semifinal. It's probably better for like a qualifiers course. The crazy clocks isn't really. I don't know. It's visually somewhat there, but from everything I've seen and heard, it's probably a lot more difficult than it looks.
Yeah, we had a crazy number of finishers this episode, and I think it's because of it's not very upper body intensive like we've seen on a lot of the other ones, where like lunatic ledges and barrel roll just really aren't going to put a whole lot of strain on them for that. It's going to wear them down for later in the like the dungeons. Difficult, don't get me wrong, it absolutely is, but it wasn't a big deal to them, as big a deal to them because they weren't worn out from the course.
Yeah, I mean, if out of all the courses, this is the one that I would want to run.
Yeah. All right, looking at the runs, we had, I gotta mention Devin Alexander and his mom, Pow, 16-year-old.
I love his mom. Bro, like, his mom seems like somebody I just want to hug. Like, she's amazing. You just know if you piss her off, she is going to be so, like, yelling at you so much. Like, that woman is all passion.
Yeah, sometimes the sidelines can kind of upstage the person running the course. And in this case, she kind of did. But I felt like it was genuine, right? Like she's genuinely, it was played up for the camera in their little segment, which made me worried. But I could see the real, genuine enthusiasm and like that she brought on the sidelines. So I got why they did it.
Oh yeah.
He ended up going out on the dungeon. Great run. For the 16-year-old.
Yeah. I don't necessarily know if we're gonna see a lot of, Pow or her son, future. I feel like this kid got his like introduction, and we're gonna see some flash forwards of him in the future.
I don't know. Sometimes the sidelines is just enough, because I know Karsten Williams really didn't bring the personality originally, but his mom always had so much that they kept showing him. He had full segments.
That's true.
We'll see.
I mean, Sarah, my wife, and I, we both know if she's ever on the show, I will be the one, holding down the fort in the personality aspect. She's like, I don't talk. I don't like cameras. I don't like any of that, but I like testing my body. So you talk, I run. I'm like, cool. Got you covered there.
Oh man, I actually, watching this made me feel so guilty. I wish I had gone to see you. I feel like I could have provided some entertainment on times, because I would have been losing my mind with you up there.
Oh, you would have. Yeah. It's all good, bro.
But so looking at one of the fast forwards here, Dan Palizzi got fast forwarded again. Ended up falling on dungeon. And I checked, and he wasn't fast enough to move on to Vegas. The 9th obstacle, and this dude's not moving on.
That's pretty insane. But I guess that really says how much this course was nerfed compared to the other ones. That even making it to the 9th obstacle doesn't necessarily mean you're moving on.
Yeah, that's insane. I don't know if that's ever happened before. Yeah, that definitely has happened before.
That's happened before, but
yeah.
Usually, it's one of those things where we're like, man, how many finishers did we get this night?
Yeah, I'm not going to go all the way back to that, but I know the night that Casey Catanzaro finished, there was a lot of finishers that night. I want to say 27.
Yeah, but still, good on her.
Yeah, I don't. That's
by the way,
reason I wasn't going to mention it, because it sounds like I'm digging on her, but she did great.
Yeah. Sensei, I do like this shtick that they introduced with Akbar becoming his new manager.
Did you?
I hate the fact that he fell, because I'm like, oh man, we didn't get to really see it. I feel like they had a plan to like really hype it up more and more, but we just didn't get it.
Yeah,
It's one of those things where they introduce it, but it's really dependent on how well he does. That's my guess.
I guess I was not a fan at all, and maybe it would have been better with the full thing. But he has a manager, and I loved his manager, and I could see him on the screen.
Yeah.
When he was running the course, I saw him in the background. I'm like, come on, like, cut out his manager. Are you kidding me? Like, we didn't need Akbar in there, but might have been good, I guess.
That's true. And honestly, the manager you can still do even like via Zoom or whatever. You know, like that whole setup. Like you can still have him like being the manager type man. So
yeah. One of my favorite segments next, Nate Hansen, the gnarly ninja, growth hormone deficiency. I was a little put off by the his visit to the 11-year-old Aiden at first, because
I was about to say it's another you know my favorite type of segment. They got to have one. Like it seems like every episode. Oh, there's a ninja that inspires a kid, and let's see them meet and see this awkward interaction.
Right. It was really awkward when he showed up. I was not I was actually laughing. I almost liked it because it was so awkward, because it was just like, it's like, look, there's a grown man here to see his son, and he's just like, hi. It's like, do you want to go run ninja course? Sure. Okay.
I feel like it might have been better if it wasn't as a big of a surprise or whatever. But you just don't know how a kid's gonna react. I mean, maybe a kid would have been screaming all happy and everything. That wouldn't have been so awkward. Kind of is what it is. But I mean, I wish. I don't know. I totally understand. I totally understand why they want segments like this. But I feel like sometimes they just do it a little too often. To where a segment like this, where it kind of is earned in a way,
that's the thing.
Because he really is inspiring somebody that's, has something that's connected with him. I mean, I feel like this got cheapened by the fact of that, there might be just a ninja that, I don't know, runs very fast and somebody's inspired by him, and then they got to do a segment about it. I mean, this is one that actually matters. So props, I guess in this case where they did have this, but at the same time, they need to limit the number of these types of segments.
Yeah, it's been diluted by some of the other ones that they've done. This one, like you said, I feel like it's relevant, right? Like that's gotta be almost like with the Alopecia Project and with Kevin Bull. I feel like that's fantastic, right? Like I love that he's able to inspire people with alopecia to see to completely just change your image of alopecia, and I feel like absolutely Nate Hansen does that for someone with growth hormone deficiency. You're not small and weak. You can be small and strong. Like the way he takes the course, I love watching him run the course. I feel like he's so uniquely built for ninja. Like something about his proportions. I'd love to hear more about his wingspan. Because they talk about him having a less of a wingspan, but I feel like he doesn't really. Like he doesn't seem to have a shorter wingspan. His arms are still quite long.
Yeah, and I'm curious about his strength to weight ratio, things like that could be beneficial for him, Obviously, there are some disadvantages to his ailments, but hopefully maybe they can hype up some of the advantages, the things that can be seen in a positive light, And not only that, but I don't know. Just I do like the fact that we do get to see him. He does seem like such a nice, genuine guy, and he is inspirational for kids, dealing with certain, similar things. So that is good.
Yeah, and I love that he finished the course. I was really excited to see him do that. Wasn't expecting him to finish. It seemed like, again, early in the episode, it was really kind of played up for the awe factor that we get early on. But he ended up taking down the whole thing. It was great.
Yeah, I guess it was also a thing where, he's kind of, he's somebody that I have to keep an eye on a little bit more now, because he is doing better and better, where before it was like, oh, we get why he's on the show. He's sending a message, all this stuff, but it's like, no, he's legit, bro. He took down a semifinals course. That's no little thing, so good on him.
Yeah. And I know you're going to be excited to talk about the next one. We have Eric Middleton, the bug ninja, taking on the course.
I love him. Yes. Oh, my gosh. I love this chick where, they have to eat all these bugs. And, dude, now we have a full meal plate. I am all for it.
That's insane. Like, that's just mean to bring a whole plate full of all these different foods. And then...
Nah, but bro, these are like tasty meals, though. They aren't like, now it's not, I'm eating a fried tarantula. Now it's like, oh, you get a nice cookie.
No.
Some
don't even pretend. No. So you can say that about a couple of them. I'll give you that. So I actually got them written down here. So we got jollof rice with grasshoppers. All right.
I'd eat that.
All right, sure, fine. And apparently it was well spiced and stuff. They look pretty, like it wasn't too bad. But the second one was Korean waxworm pupa. Pupae? No. Just
Yeah, I probably wouldn't
no.
do that. But what I would do is I would have you test it out first, and then I would go.
Right.
Like,
oh, I thought you'd
you
be
get
in
the first
anyway.
bite,
You'd be the one trying to talk me into it, no doubt.
Oh, I would. I would totally talk you into it with me not eating it.
Right.
Then,
bee bread, which actually looked pretty good. Like I'd
That
mess with some bee bread, bee pollen, and
yeah, I would
honey?
eat the living heck out of that.
And cricket cookies. Probably.
I eat cricket cookies. Yeah, crickets are like really healthy for you. Come on, y'all. You guys know at home. You saw that bee bread and those cookies, and you're like, that actually sounds pretty tasty right now.
I don't know how people thought cricket cookies sounded good, but maybe doable. But tarantula sushi to wrap it all up. Just no. Why? Why would you do that?
I don't know. I might eat it just to say I can do it. I don't know.
Yeah. No. Anyway, total diagram. But it was entertaining. It did actually add, to the run for sure.
No, this is a perfect way to guarantee you're going to be on the show, buddy. Is like, keep doing it. I love it. I like to see them squirm. It looks like Zuri, now we have to get her next season, or maybe in the Vegas finals to eat something. It's all building to seeing Zuri eat one of these now.
She doesn't seem very on board, I'll have to say.
Nah, she noped out as quickly as she could. They're all like, Zuri, and she was gone. She was like the Roadrunner. You just saw smoke or dust. So I was like, nope. I loved it.
Yeah, she did a really good job of playing it, like not being a jerk about it, but managing to extricate herself pretty well. I thought a lot of respect for her for her ability to do it without coming across badly. It was just like, no, I have other tables to wait on, or whatever she said as she did.
Yeah.
It was really good. But yeah, Eric Middleton picked a heck of a time to finish the whole course with this full meal planned out.
To be fair, This might be the problem with all this chick, though, is I totally forgot he completed the course.
Right? And he was the first one to take on diving boards and beat it, too. Like, that was a pretty big deal. But yeah, it so drew you into that side segment. You do kind of miss his run.
Yeah. Okay, I got to talk about this next segment, though. So they had 2 TikTok stars. They're hyping up like, oh, they're stars from TikTok. I don't know who these kids are. I'm on TikTok. I'm a millennial, so I guess it's like one of those things, not the same circles, Like, all my TikTok is political and, like, environment and blah, 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 stuff like that. I don't know who these kids are, but at first I was ready to scorch the earth. Just hate everything. Being like, why are they on my TV? All this stuff. But then I thought about it and I settled down. I was like, yo, I'm watching the semifinals. They got here. They had to earn their spots in here. So props to them. At the same time,
no,
I don't know how they earned their
no.
spots because they fell in like the first obstacle. So what happened here?
Yeah. No, see, you're getting to the heart of the problem. I was going to say, it was later in the episode that they're shown, but let's do this now. So Josh Richards and Griffin Johnson are their names. TikTok stars, millions of followers. Fine. I don't have any problem with them bringing on personalities to run the qualifiers. This is semifinals night. Get that out of here. They didn't beat qualifiers. They didn't qualify. Didn't they just brought these guys on in the semifinals.
Shame! Shame, 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 shame. I did not know that. Even my dogs are upset. They're barking in the background. Shame. I did not know. Bro, I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, okay, they earned it. But for real, like during the semifinals, they brought some just random kids out to just run the course.
Yeah. Yeah, forget that.
That's crazy. And not only that, but like they fell on like the first obstacle, I think, right?
Yeah, one of them did. And
or at least one of them did. Like,
that's why it just fell crazy. Right away in the second one.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with falling in the second obstacle. But, the first one, come on, y'all. Get it together.
Well, they bring these social media people onto Ninja Warrior. Like, how dare they? How dare they?
Yeah, how dare they? If they want a social media person, at least get a podcast or something. Jeez.
But no, this is the semifinals. You don't bring out your Pee Wee hockey team to the Stanley Cup final to go play, a little bit. Like, no, get that out of here. This is not the time.
Yeah, for real. Like, if I was on just randomly brought on during the semifinals, I would be mad at myself. Like, get me off the screen. What are you doing?
Yeah. No, not the time, guys.
I mean, I don't know why I'm trying to
Qualifiers.
compare myself to a TikTok star like I'm anywhere near that, but you know what I mean. Like,
Millions. We have millions of downloads, millions of followers. Like Bijan, don't you worry about it.
yep. Totally.
So yeah, rewinding back to Eric Middleton's run. Right.
I saw them, like, I saw a commercial for them right now, so I was just like, yo, I need to get this out of.
Yeah, they hyped them. Like, that was the other annoying part. Like, stop hyping them. We don't care. Like, I mean, sure, somebody cares, but they're going to care to watch them on their TikTok. They're not coming to watch Ninja Warrior anyway.
I have never seen either of these kids in my entire life.
They had a lot of followers. It was it was no joke. No wonder they put them on. It was like 11 million followers or something crazy.
I get it, because they've got kids watching this show. But you want to put them on a show, put them on ANW Junior. Don't put them on ANW, hyping them up, or put them on the qualifiers, but not the semifinals.
Yeah, and I mean, typically with those things, they've done this lots of times before, right? The Try Guys, right, were on Ninja Warrior, but they had them running the course not on the night of the thing, and they had like a YouTube video of them running the course, and then the one of the Paul brothers, I forget which one, was on there
Oh
too.
God, move on.
Right. I think it was Logan Paul ran. Like, that was, and you didn't know who he was at the time, because I mentioned, like, Logan Paul ran the course. You're like, I don't know who that is. Definitely know who he is now.
I wish I didn't.
Yeah, exactly. So they've done this before, but it's always to get them to show it on their YouTube channels and stuff, not to get them on the actual show, it seems. I don't know. Not a fan.
Well, hey, they got their they got what they wanted, because we spent more time on them than
We did too.
even like Jamie Ron or Taimura Yamauchi, who's coming up. You know, it's like, oh man.
All right, yeah, let's talk to people we actually want to talk about. Jamie Ron, fast forwarded, out on the diving boards, but he is going to Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I mean, we've seen Jamie Ron how much this time, if he fell on diving boards, totally understand. More so, Tyler Yamauchi, man, he hit the buzzer, and man, he did really well. I think he was like one of the faster times and everything like that. He's still killing it, and Tyler is like one of those ninjas that is constantly so good, consistently good, but yet just doesn't get the airtime that he really deserves.
Yeah, he's for those that aren't familiar, you should be. He's 5'1", a father of 3, beat the whole course, the shortest guy to ever complete a city finals course. They said the only person shorter would be Casey Catanzaro at 5 foot. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So congrats, Tyler. Really happy for him to get that done. And after him, we had Heather Weisinger, the hard electrician and firefighter. Had to mention her because she made like a crazy one-handed save on the barrel roll, and then another one on the drop zone. It was like, wow, like, that's some grip strength. She did that twice.
Yeah, more so just, man, what am I doing with my life if she does all that, you know? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the other thing, right? Like, the segment is like, wait, sorry, the firefighter thing is like her off time thing when she's not on a heart electrician. Okay. And ninja. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, but really good, and those are the types of things that really, you know, like, can make a highlight reel in many ways, right?
Yeah. She ended up falling on the dismount of drop zone, unfortunately.
Yeah, the dismount. Like, imagine that. Like, that is the worst. You're made it through, like, really the, like, 2 parts, but just the final one is the thing that, like, you fall on. That just sucks.
Yeah. At least it was a legit fall, not like a foot in the water deal.
Yeah. So Bergstrom's.
Yeah, Kai Bäckstrand. Bäckstrand? Is that right? Bäckstrand.
Ekstrom, I think. You know what? I have no idea. I don't want to butcher it.
I'm trying to remember too, because I think you're thinking of the Bergstroms,
Oh yeah, it's
Beckstrand. Yeah,
or something like that, right? Or something like that.
Kai Bäckstrand.
Man, so similar.
Yeah.
Okay, Mohawk guys. How about that?
Yeah, the Mohawks. Great on ANW. He was great on ANW Junior, and he kept it going here. He was looking pretty tired at points. Like, he really looked worn down more than I expected. Most of these kids looked like they just, completely fresh the whole way through. He was showing it. especially on the dungeon and the spider trap. Thought he might not finish the whole course there for a minute, but he ended up beating it all. Kai did absolutely great. His father fell earlier, but he was able to take the whole thing down.
Okay. I was about to ask, where did his father go? Because I remember, like, in the qualifiers, both of them hit the buzzer. I was like, yo, this could be a really dope thing with the son and the dad, like, both doing well. But sounds like the dad didn't make it to Vegas.
No, he didn't. He was at, and I'm scrolling back myself to find, it was, where is it?
Well, either way, it's all good.
Oh,
I mean,
episode.
at least Kai, he did great. And he is also somebody that, a lot of viewers will be familiar with from ANW Junior. So I like the fact that, we get to see a lot of representation there.
Yeah, his father, Brian, fell on Drop Zone, but
Okay.
yeah, it was nice seeing them them both hit it. It was kind of interesting to have the first father-son hit it, but it didn't carry on, unfortunately.
We had I remember we had a lot of flash forwards of people completing the course.
We did.
I think that's kind of their way of, like, making it seem like the course wasn't as hard. Because, like, if you see so many people hit the buzzer, but, like, I keep forgetting they flash forwarded, like, half the completionists.
They did,
Even
yeah,
more.
including Hunter Gerard and Kyle Soderman, both beat the course. That was
Never
exciting.
heard of them.
Yeah, those guys. Yeah.
If the producers had the way, it seems.
And then,
Like, seriously, when are we gonna get, like, a highlight of these two again? Because they're so good.
yeah, I don't know. They're entertaining too.
maybe
That's
there's-
the part that's crazy. Like, I get it
Yeah.
sometimes when the person's not very entertaining, but these guys are entertaining. They have a lot of personality. Like, give them a chance to shine.
Like, a ton. Yeah. I'm not sure, but yeah, they really have a lot of personality. Maybe they're saving them for the Vegas finals, but I expect both to do really well over there too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with no on that. I don't typically save them quite that much for the finals, so I'm guessing they're not gonna get shown. But we'll see.
That sucks. You're probably right.
Usually they try to set up. Usually get like one segment at least.
Yeah.
Going in.
Not as many vignettes in the finals, which I'm not complaining about. I am cool with that.
Next we can talk about Cal Plohoris, the 15-year-old. I gotta mention this guy because he finished the barrel. I was so confused. I could not figure out.
Wait,
even
who are we talking about? Who is this guy?
He's a 15-year-old. He finished the barrel roll and then he ran to Diamond Dash, but then he like pulled up and planted his feet and then stumbled through it. Like he just like somehow managed to like from like a dead stop and almost like fell onto the diamonds and then managed to get across anyway.
I'm sorry, I do not remember this guy. So I mean, cool. But
He's right after the fast forwards of Hunter and Kyle.
okay.
Well, pretty sure.
Sorry, Paul Harris, but yeah, I don't remember you.
You don't remember it turns out so they can't run from one obstacle directly into the next one, which I wanted to bring up because that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, and I'm pretty sure we've seen it lots of times.
What? How is this what? Did they say this on the course or something? Like,
I think that's what they said. I couldn't quite follow what they were saying on it. I know he pulled up. They said something about he had to plant both of his feet, and I couldn't quite catch it on the show. And then on ANW Nation, shout out to Nikki and whoever's doing it. I think Nikki's still doing it. Here it says, blah, 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 but the rules say ninjas are not allowed to run from one. Oh, here, I'll read the holes. Cal gave us all a gasp when he flew off barrel roll and shot towards the Diamond Dash. But the rules say ninjas are not allowed to run from one into the other. Cal had to stop and plant his feet for a second. He hit the brakes and his body pitched forward, but he launched himself again and made it safely through.
what?
Yeah, like, since when can you not run from one obstacle into the next one? What kind of a rule is that?
I'm so confused. Like, some of the most famous runs that we've ever seen from like Flip Rodriguez and people like that. It's literally them running throughout the entire course. That's really interesting. I'm wondering if they're trying to avoid, like injuries. There's got to be something that started that rule. I'm really curious about the thought of that. Because that's not just something they just decide on. There has to be something that like spurned on that rule.
Yeah. Safety is the only thing that makes any sense. So if anyone knows like when that came about, because like you said, some of the most famous ones we've had are people just running full out from obstacle to obstacle.
I know in season 10 that certainly wasn't a rule because
yeah, you heard
they didn't tell me anything like that.
Yeah. After him, let's talk Austin Gray. He advocates for kidney donation with his Share Your Spare shirt. It's been a few seasons now. Amazing ninja that I have been hyping for the last few seasons.
Yeah, you love this dude.
I do. I'm very big on him, and I feel like I've been vindicated a couple times. He got second place last season. Incredible ninja.
Okay, that was the thing, bro. If there was ever a thing where I'm like, how did I not remember this? He got second place. He almost was the last man standing last season.
Yep.
Couldn't remember. Never even remembered that.
I know it's kind of
like if
crazy.
you were to tell me who was the other person that competed for a last man standing, I'd be like, I don't know, Joe Moravsky or somebody. I don't know. Like it would have not been. You could have given me like 50 guesses and it wouldn't have been Austin Gray.
Yeah, sometimes it's like that. Like there's so many people on the show. We cover so much that it really does kind of it gets away from you. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of everybody. As we found out with our 20 questions at New Year's, it's really hard sometimes.
Oof. Yeah. That said, I'm really happy that they did remind us, and I hope they continue to do that because that is no small feat, and that is something where it should be almost like a sport incredibly lauded. Like anytime they bring him up, they need to like ram that down our throats, being like, "Yo, this is somebody that almost became the last man standing. This is somebody you need to keep an eye out for, like the top of the heat." And I think that can really do well for him.
Yeah, and he did really well here. Flew through the course, gets to the 9th obstacle, stops to ask if he made it to Vegas or not. And then once he realized he had, and then should take the risk on the diving boards, he takes a second to check the location of the springs, which I loved, and then flew through it.
Yeah, I'm glad he checked the location because usually we see everybody just hitting the springs like way too early on into it. And I totally get it. It's very difficult, but it is kind of helpful to really plan out your, where you're going to be stepping on those things.
Yeah, especially since they even describe it. I've heard, I think Matt or Akbar, one of them said like, you've got to make sure to hit the center of the board. It's like, no, you don't. The springs are not in the center, and that's part of the trick of them. The springs are offset; they're further forward than the middle. From what I could see, at least.
I didn't even know that, but I mean, yeah, that's really smart.
Yeah, he did fantastic. Ended up beating the course and moves on to the power tower. Actually. This is where they showed the TikTok stars. Forget those guys. Then we had Flip Rodriguez fast forwarded.
Yeah, Flip.
Who's fallen on both the obstacles to split decision before. So the big question was whether he was going to fall which one he would pick, but he didn't make it there, unfortunately, and went out on the crazy clocks.
And isn't going to Vegas. That's the crazy part. Because I remember at the end of this episode, with so many completionists, I was really curious who isn't moving on, and Flip is not moving on.
Nope.
That is crazy, bro.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's just sometimes that's what happens, right? We've had a number of veterans not move on this season with so many of these young teenagers coming in. It's been a tough season. And then there's a few that didn't even get invites, unfortunately, too. So,
yeah.
I almost didn't include this guy, but we got to mention him briefly at least. Joe Brown, who jumped over Zuri to kick off his whole
Yo, props to Zuri, because no way in heck I'm standing there and letting you jump over me. Nope.
Yeah, that was
was
risky. Imagine like if it didn't go well, like how bad that could have been.
Yeah. That said, I mean, you see in the feed, this guy jumps over plenty of people, so I'm sure. But I mean, still, Zuri, you know she's down for the show just for the fact that she actually did that, because previous hosts would have never in their life done that.
No, No, and even his friends, like they showed, he jumped over Jessie LeBrecq. She ducked like when he went over, and Zuri didn't even duck. She just stood
Yo,
there.
I don't blame her.
Yeah,
Not only that, Zuri was like talking like it was part of the skit. Like, no way, I would not be able to talk. I would. Oh man, yeah, that's a professional right there.
Yeah, he had some struggles. He made it to Crazy Clocks before falling, but that it was noteworthy for the jumping, obviously.
Yeah.
A couple fast forwards after that. Kyle Schelsey, who I'm also very big on, was able to beat the fifth obstacle finally, even with an injured shoulder. So congrats to him. Made it up the warped wall and the salmon ladder before going out on Crazy Clocks.
Yeah, showed a lot of heart and everything, but I mean, at this point in the episode, it's kind of like I'm yada-yadaing. I'm like, all right, let's move on to people.
Ethan Swanson,
man,
though?
we got. Oh, go ahead. Ethan Swanson, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to yada Ethan Swanson here because he went incredibly fast, got hung up on the Crazy Clocks and couldn't get the dismount. Like, didn't just make a slip up. Legit just couldn't finish the obstacle. That was crazy to witness. Like,
stunning.
Even in a fast forward, I was just like, my jaw dropped to see that he couldn't finish that off. He just burned himself out that much.
And everybody else was too. I mean, you see everybody's jaws drop like, what? And I've never done the Crazy Clocks, but for how many ninjas it's taken out in the past few years, it's got to be a lot harder than it looks. I mean, it's one of those obstacles where, I mean, it might not be some obstacles, just the visual element really isn't there, but apparently they're really difficult. And I feel like this is one of those cases.
Yeah, I it's got to be awkward. I actually kind of expected you to talk to more about the awkwardness of it because it is hard for me to picture. But at the same time, like, think of the different muscle groups that has to be involved in that, like spreading it out like almost Iron Cross style and then swinging it back around and then trying to dismount. You have to squeeze them together while you're dismounting or it starts to drift back on you, right? Like it's at an angle.
Yeah. It's at an angle, so there's also a portion of it where you're using your core to like use your hips up because you want to offset that weight that you have, kind of like the salmon ladder or that tree obstacle where you got to like jump up and everything like that. So you're using your core, and I think that's one component that a lot of people don't consider. But also, as you said, you're using different assets of your pecs in many ways, and your muscle and your arm muscles, but the big issue with this, which I could see really messed up Ethan, was the fact that you have to be really coordinated in doing it all precisely at the same time. Because if you only put together, or if you put more, I guess, power in your right arm and not as much in your left, you're gonna kind of just sway to the side. You know what I mean? So you have to perfectly match everything up precisely. And I think that could be where it's really tricky, where technique really is involved a lot more than people think it is. I hope that made sense.
It did. Yeah, I think it's a combination of factors, but added a lot of drama, really, I felt, to Jake Murray's run right after him because we saw that a top ninja can get stuck there, right? Like if they go too fast, they try to do too much too quickly, that they're not infallible, which we know that anyway, but I don't know. I just thought it was it lent a little bit more drama to the Crazy Clocks, at least. He seemed to struggle on drop zone. Jake did. So I with him going so late in the episode, I thought he was really set up to be, and they got a big segment for him and everything. I was like, okay, so he's probably going to get the fastest time. But I wasn't putting a surprise fall out of the realm of possibility too. So seeing him struggle on drop zone, I thought, okay, this could be a shocking fall. This actually may not be a gimme here.
That would have been awful. That said, Jake has really been he's been so good these past few years, but I feel like he got on another level. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I forgot. At some point, he fell early. Do you remember that season where he fell early?
Yeah.
And then he just came back with just the fury of 1,000 gods. And he has just been on a roll lately. I wouldn't be surprised if he's the last man standing. Honestly, he's been that good lately.
All right. And he get the fastest time of the night. He did really well. He did a slick little skater move on the diving boards to catch himself, which was great. Yeah, fastest time of the night. But there was one more run before he moved to the power tower, and that was Jesse Lebrec. They were really hyping this to be her possibly her third 10 obstacle course buzzer. And that kept sticking with me. And
and the most buzzers.
She had the most buzzers, yeah. But I kept hearing third, and I'm like, but she's only hit the city finals once that I could remember. Like, that was bugging me. It was the same night that Michelle Warnke did it. And I could be wrong in that, but I feel like they're adding the women's championship in there. Kind of sneakily giving her an
she
extra
did
one.
hit it. She did hit that buzzer.
She did, so it kind of counts, but kind of not. I mean, it's a different course. It's not, I don't know. It's not AW proper. I'm not a big fan of including it.
I don't know. I would have to see that course again, but I have to imagine it was tough enough to where, if you want to, I'm not going to hate on it.
She had a great run. She looks really tired by the dungeon, but she managed to do it and ends up beating the whole thing. So it's great.
Yeah, Rich, you are not hyping it up enough. Jesse Lebrec, you get the athletically profound run of the night. This run was amazing. She was absolutely, completely winded, exhausted, really had to fight for it. This was not a simple course that, she can just fly through. She really earned it. Also, this course was tough for somebody with her, how do I describe this? She is really good at a lot of the, transition type obstacles, and there were a lot of them here, but there were a lot of ones that really had to test your grip strength and everything like that, and she's good at it, right? But she was struggling, and she kept going on, and even on the climb at the end, I wouldn't have been shocked if she would have fallen, because she was that much struggling, but yet she still persevered, and making history at it. So all around, this was awesome.
Yeah, it was a great run. I'm sorry, I probably didn't hype it up nearly enough. It was a great run. I'm really excited to see it. Congrats to her and getting
Phenomenal
another buzzer.
shape, by the way. Geez, man, this lady is ripped. Every time I see her, she's in better shape. Her and the other Jesse Graf. I mean, man, they must work out all day, every day. It is insane.
Yeah, they're all business too. It's one of the things I noticed, as it's showing them prep. I don't know. It's probably just how they choose to frame a lot of things, but I just feel like when they show either the Jessies, they're doing something to warm up in a specific way rather than just sitting around talking to somebody or doing something else. As it shows them really getting geared up for the course.
Yeah, I like that. They're taking it seriously. They're basically the athletes of the sport, kind of like Joe Moravsky or something, where it's they don't need the gimmicks or the goofiness or anything like that. No hate to anybody that does that. But I'm just saying with them, it is all business, as you said. This is their sport. This is the thing that they dominate, and this is what they're here for. And it kind of adds to that aura where it's you're going to get something special when they get on that on the course.
And you know what? If I had to pick anyone to be on my sideline, it would be either of the Jessies. Did you hear Jessie yelling at...
oh, yeah.
I forget who it was. She's yelling out specific directions. Do this. Make sure you do this. Breathe. She is you can hear her above everything, just yelling out very direct advice. It was great.
Oh, yeah.
But that led us into the Power Tower. Power Tower. Jake Murray versus Austin Gray. They're friends. They train together, and now they are competing for the safety pass.
Nice.
Pretty even match, but Jake ended up falling, trying to get ahead by going sideways and trying to grab the shelves, reaching from one to the next, just trying a different technique.
Somebody did it and very well. I forget if it was Vance Walker or somebody before that, but somebody did that same technique and flew through those. So I give him all the props in the world for trying something new. He was behind, so you got to try something different. I say go big or go home, and he went big. He didn't make it through, but all props in the world for that.
Yeah, I would love to talk to somebody who actually did those power towers. Like, do you just forget how high you are at that point? Like, you're just so focused on trying to get through the obstacle that, because it just seems crazy that they're doing these risky moves at that height. Like, it's just got to be insanity to fall from that distance.
I mean, that is one element that, you know, psychologically, man, they're very high. I would be going so gently through any of those. I'd be like, or just you have to be so focused that you just have to throw caution to the wind and not even think about it. Just go, go, go. And I'm sure that's kind of what they were doing.
All right, so Austin Gray ends up taking the safety pass, so that could make Vegas very interesting.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll choose him. I'm not going to take your man's as a pick, but we got to go through our picks now.
Yeah.
And the problem is that I, for the life of me, have no idea who's moving on to Vegas from the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Do they have it on like I can't go to Ninja Nation because the finals are already up, so it's like I don't want to get spoiled. So I'm just gonna have to go by guessing. But how about this? I'll go, you go. We'll do it back and forth like that. Sound good?
Yeah. Because I'm kind of like wondering, like, how quickly can I actually get the list? I'm probably not gonna be able to. We'll have to go from memory as best we can.
Yeah. All right, my first pick is Joe Moravsky because, you know, I got to.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I'll pick Austin Gray for mine.
Really? You're not picking? I guess I'll do it. Daniel Gill.
Oh,
rack it up.
I'll spare you. Daniel Gill wasn't able to compete, and I did have that quote unquote spoiled for me, but that's a fair one. He wasn't able to compete in Vegas, unfortunately.
Oh, did he get COVID or something happened? Or what?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh man, that's well. I hope he's okay. You know, wish him all the best. You know, pandemic year, but I mean, I'm glad at least they're able to catch that beforehand, before, you know, it spread and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the best to Daniel and his family. That's really unfortunate. All right, well, thank you for that, bro, because I didn't know that. Then I will do Vance Walker because they are hyping him all the way up. Might be for a reason.
That's fair.
Imagine your rookie year and you become, you know, like win the whole thing.
Oh my god.
That's crazy. If Vance Walker does it, oh man.
I'm going to pick Sean Bryan.
Ooh, dang, man. Okay. So I feel like we got the obvious ones out of the way now. So I gotta really think, like, who's left. Najee isn't competing. You know what? I will do. Oh gosh, we just talked about him, and I always forget the name. Skateboarder dude.
I knew you were gonna pick him. Jake Murray.
Jake Murray, yeah.
Darn you! Now I gotta search back through my memories. So you picked a teen. I feel like I should pick a teen.
There's some good ones.
I know, but there's no other
really
Vance Walkers though.
Yeah.
Who do I go with? Who do I pick? I can't think of their names in the previous episodes. Who do we have? We had. I might have to pick somebody from this one just to do it. No, not those guys. You know what? I am going to not pick a team.
It's all good.
I am gonna go Adam Rail.
Dang, dude, that was literally my next pick. Now I got to think of somebody else.
Well,
okay,
are we picking? How many are we picking? That's 3 each.
3 each. Okay, we could say we can do that if you want. I was thinking 5, but we can do 3. That might make it easier because at this point, I mean, we're just guessing people at that point. So I think that's a good solid 3. So for me, I have Joe Moravsky, Vance Walker, and Jake Murray. Right?
Yep.
And your team?
Austin Gray, Sean Bryan, and Adam Rail.
I think those are solid picks, bro. I think those are solid picks, and I look forward to us being completely wrong.
Yep.
With, like all of them falling in like stage 2. But
we cursed
yeah,
them
I
all
am
for sure.
so psyched. I'm so psyched for the finals, bro. So psyched. So, yeah, everyone at home, we'll give it a few days, but I'm telling you, maybe tomorrow or tonight, I am watching those finals. I am psyched. I am so ready for Vegas.
Yeah, it should be good. I'm just excited to get back to a real finals course, right? Like last season,
Yeah.
I got it, all those limitations and everything. They couldn't really do it, but it just wasn't the same. So I'm excited to see Mount Midoriyama again.
Yeah, for real. And one thing to consider is that, at this point, like when they filmed the season, it was at the beginning of the year, so vaccinations weren't really a thing. But from moving on, at the very least, ANW usually is an outside sport. With everybody being vaccinated, if they choose to go that route, with like everybody being vaccinated, or however other guidelines they want to do, like testing and everything like that. Theoretically, it could be a thing where moving forward, we can have an audience again, or at the very least, competitors live, with other competitors, which might add to the aura of the show. I have been perfectly fine with it being in a closed environment. I actually, I thought it's been pretty entertaining, but there's something special about, in particular, Vegas, right? Like being out in open air, with these giant obstacles. There's something really special about that. So I'm really excited to see that again.
Yeah, I miss the personality of the different cities, like being injected into the episodes weirdly.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Right?
Yeah.
Like they always have a nice backdrop of some iconic landmark. They've got all the little spiels about the city, and I don't know, it definitely adds something to the episodes that's been missing.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
All right, but that is it for this week. So if you'd like to reach out to us, you can reach me as rich@ninjapodcast.com. I am at Ninja Podcast on both Instagram and Twitter. And Bijan, how can they reach you?
Hit me at Twitter and Instagram, and really just Instagram at Bijan151. That is BIJAN 151.
All right, thank you all so much for listening, and I will see you in Vegas.
Oh, I love that. Peace, y'all. Take care. And I guess also see you in Vegas. Shots on me. Why not?